didn't believe my own words. Back in my hotel room, I wallowed in my sadness. Everything had been taken away from me, or so I thought. I had no idea that the universe was setting me up for what would be the most incredible, enriching experience of my life. What I thought was a loss was a total gain, but I couldn't see anything through the tears. In real life, you get to say goodbye. On the show, you aren't stopped from doing so, but once your fate is announced, you're whooshed away before you've even had a chance to process what has just happened. 6 weeks of your life, and poof, it's over. I had gone to LA for an adventure and ended up with a broken heart. It wasn't fun, but it was wonderfully motivating. I knew more than ever before what kind of person I was looking for and what kind of person I had become. I had enjoyed the glitz of my new existence, but deep down I yearned for something much simpler but so much harder to find, my own happy family. For the next 3 months, the footage was edited and a series was created. Contractually bound by confidentiality, I had to keep my friends and family in the dark and return to life as I knew it before I met Alex Michelle. It's amazing how much happier life can be when you gain some perspective. As my past life played out on national television, I watched every week with my friends and family and found myself gradually getting over the heartache. On the night of the finale, I tuned in along with a gaggle of my friends at a special viewing party. That night, my cell phone rang. It was Mike Fleiss, the executive producer. He wanted to know if I would be interested in a chance to turn the tables and become the first Bachelorette. I didn't hesitate. Seriously? Sign me up! With the ABC television network at the helm of my search for love, I knew I would be drastically improving my odds. After all, people were being paid to scour the country to find guys who fit my type. I didn't have that kind of time, and buried in student loans, I certainly didn't have that kind of money. So I asked for another leave of absence, and when that was politely refused, I said goodbye to the PT department at Miami Children's Hospital and set sail for the West Coast, a spot I had always dreamed of calling home. While I worked out the legalities with the production company's powers that be, I hit the gym, met new friends, and waited for the day I would stand in front of my mansion away from home, hearing host Chris Harrison say, "Let the journey begin." October 10th, 2002 was that day. In a long black Carmen Mark Balvo dress and a more than 10-carat diamond necklace bigger than my earlobe, I was introduced to 25 charming bachelors. One of them was a stunner who was so thoroughly outside of his comfort zone that he forgot to tell me his name. But after I heard it for the first time, I would never forget it. Ryan Sutter. He stepped out of the limo and told me I looked ravishing. I couldn't remember a time that I had ever heard that word in a sentence, but it sounded so romantic and genuine, and I bought it, hook, line, and sinker. His crystal blue eyes, firefighter resume, NFL muscles, and the poem he handed me during our first solo chat didn't hurt his cause either. For the next 6 weeks, he continued to stand out among the crowd, a crowd of eligible men who had left their homes and jobs to test the relationship waters with me. With cameras following our every move, I got to know as much as I could about each of the men who had signed up to join me on this crazy ride. Ryan had been a frontrunner since the first night, but after holding that position myself for much of the journey I shared with Alex Michelle, and then getting the rug pulled out from underneath me, I decided to keep my heart as open as I possibly could and not make a final decision until the very end. I fully immersed myself in the search for love. I hoped to find someone who made me laugh and had a strong family bond. Someone who wanted to create babies out of our love and show the world what it meant to be a good father. Someone who made me feel special and safe and full of fluttering butterflies. Someone who was kind, honorable, trustworthy, and athletic. Someone I couldn't stop thinking about no matter whom I was with or what I was doing or where I was in my travels. After narrowing down the playing field week after week, I couldn't deny the inevitable. I had told myself before I started that I wanted to walk off into the sunset with a man I couldn't live without. At the end of the 6 weeks, I got all that and more. On the night of the final rose ceremony, I said goodbye to Charlie, the only other man remaining, and waited patiently for Ryan to arrive. I was on a platform surrounded by candles and flowers, but all I could think about was the gorgeousness of the man I had completely and utterly fallen for. I will never forget the intensity of the smile that took over my face when Ryan started walking down the stairs toward me. It was happiness in its purest form, and not only because he brought me such joy, but because I could finally reveal the depth of my love to the man who had captured my heart. I had worked very hard to keep my